Senator Roger Marshall of Kansas, member of the Senate Budget Finance Committees. Senator, it's great to have you back. You, of course, are a veteran. You served in the military. And so I'm curious your thoughts on the president's posture here. No rush to get inspectors into Iran, even after the administration suggested that there was an imminent threat, an imminent nuclear threat that provoked this war. Should we be more conscious of timing here and get inspectors on the ground now?
Well, Joe, I don't know that I feel an alarm because of that situation. For the first time ever, Iran has agreed not to develop any further nuclear weapons. I think the exciting story here to me is this concept of taking swords and then turning into plow shields. That's exactly what happened with President Reagan and the USSR. They took 500 tons of enriched uranium and they downblended that and turned it into nuclear energy. We only have a half a ton to deal with there. Hopefully it's in a safe place and safe containers. So I think this is very doable. The first step will be to downblend it there with American inspectors, we hope. So in due time, I guess I don't feel a panic about it today.
Well, if that is something that's going to come down the road, Iran is already getting financial relief now, Senator. We saw the waiver of sanctions for its energy products, which it's now free to sell on the global market. Iran says $12 billion in frozen funds are going to be unfrozen. The president maintains that those unfrozen funds will be used to buy U.S. agricultural products, and Iran says they can use it however they want. Should any money be unfrozen if we can't guarantee how Iran will use it?
Look, I think that this is the first step. In order to get Iran to sign that agreement for no more nuclear weapon development, no future enrichment, we had to give something. I would gladly give $5 billion, $12 billion of their own money. Again, this is not American money. This is not Obama sending over $1.7 billion. Yes, I hope that they use it to buy beef from Kansas. But time will tell. Again, I think there has to be some trust in the process right now. Right now, the money we're releasing, the sanction money will be used for humanitarian purposes. Our farmers bore a large brunt of the situation there in Iran with high diesel prices and high fertilizer prices. So again, I remain hopeful.
The president called out farmers today in his speech in Pennsylvania for this very reason, Senator. And I'm just curious, with regard to farmers in your state, we had talked about potential federal assistance last time you joined us. If the president doesn't sell soybeans to Tehran, will there need to be a farm bailout before the end of this year?
I think even if we do sell $5 billion worth of food to Iran, we're going to still have to help the farmers out. And again, this president's done more for the American farmer than any other presidency. We've given them $65 billion for crop insurance, $40-some billion for farm aid already. But the input costs continue to be exorbitant. And despite our exports being up, it's still tough times. I'm afraid we're going to have to go back to the well one more time here.
Wow.
Well, Senator, I'd also like to ask you, and maybe you plan to raise this in the lunch that President Trump will be attending with you and your colleagues on Capitol Hill tomorrow. I would imagine he's more focused on issues like the filibuster and trying to pass the Save America Act, which the Senate Majority Leader, John Thune, suggests is not something that's passable. The filibuster right now is not killable. Who's wrong, the Majority Leader or the President?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you kind of cut out. Here's my take on the situation right now. Look, John Thune would love to pass the SAVE Act. There's at least 50 Republicans that believe that we should have IDs when you show up to vote, that you should have proof of citizenship. The leader is on board with that. I'm on board with that. But
what about mail-in ballot restrictions?
Yeah, well, I would love to limit the mail-in ballot restrictions. I would love not have just automatic ballots to go out. I think that's actually the biggest problem here we're facing. But regardless, we're never going to get a Democrat vote for any type of security for elections right now. So we would have to bypass the filibuster, and that's what we don't have the votes for. It would take 60 votes, what you're describing, to do, whether it's mail-in ballots or voter ID, any of that would take 60 votes unless we eliminate the filibuster. And I bet a third of our caucus is not willing to do that. I am. I wasn't there a year or two ago, but now that the Democrats have been such a big obstructionist, I'm now willing to consider doing that.
What's the president in for tomorrow, Senator? You read all the same reporting that we're reading, that he's going to get an earful, that rank and file senators are ready to stand up and crow about things like the Save America Act, like Bill Pulte as DNI holding up the renewal of FISA 702. Is this going to be a happy visit? Is he going to get an earful from John Cornyn?
Oh, I don't know if anyone's going to get an earful. I think that this is a business deal. This is a business deal going down. And no, you've been part of a church board or a business board. I've been on a hospital board with the doctors where we're yelling and screaming at each other. But at the end of the day, we walked out of there. We're still friends. We want to take good care of our patients. There are some grievances, but I think this is good. I think it's good to sit down and say, here's our concerns right now. What can we do to get on the same page? I think that there's going to be a discussion of the Save America Act. Again, if I could pass one bill the rest of my career, this would be it. I think that election integrity is that important. But then we need to move on. We got to discuss what is possible. Are we going to do a reconciliation 3.0 bill? I look forward to hearing a little more discussion on the Iran agreement, where that's going as well. Guess what? We got an election in November. We need to be focused on bringing down the cost of gas and groceries, which is exactly what this memorandum does as well. We need to stay focused on the prosperity and the security of the American people, and we'll get there.
Okay. All right. Senator Roger Marshall, the Republican from Kansas, thank you so much for joining us on Balance of Power.